Nur Atira and from University College of Yayasan Pahang. Participants and viewers, we shall now begin the conference with a workshop titled Design Thinking on Education's Tool by Dr. Raihan Musa. Dr. Raihan is the founder and the CEO of Exploria that provide comprehensive platforms for schools and community. Dr. Raihan also is the chairman of Badan Amal Pendidikan Pahang, which help underprivileged students to have better opportunities by providing them financial, counseling, and career support. Please welcome the strong and passionate and remarkable our Dr. Raihan Musa. Yes, doctor, you may unmute the mic. Dr. Raihan, the floor is yours, doctor. Yes, Dr. Raihan, anything that I could help?
Okay, is it okay? The internet connection is not good, actually, but it's okay. I try. Okay, can you hear me?
Sure, doctor.
Okay, clearly, is it clear?
Yes, yes, I can hear you, doctor.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. So I should begin now, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. All right.
Sure.
Okay. All right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Dr. Raihan Musa, CEO and founder of Exploria Malaysia. We are located in Pahang, Malaysia. And we are Pahang-born company. We started in Pahang and our pilot study we started in Pahang. And then Alhamdulillah, starting 2018, we start this project. And then it's quite a good move for Exploria, even during pandemic and even after pandemic. We run quite well, even though there are many companies shutting down, but we are doing quite well. So today I'm going to share what Exploria is doing. Actually, what Exploria is going to present today is something is very new, and then we never shared to anyone before. And then this is our first international in education conference. So it's such a privilege to be in this conference because not because we don't share to anyone before this workshop because we are quite busy with things we do. But we have a lot of things to share. So today I'm going to share things that what Exploria is doing and what Exploria is heading to. Actually, there are a lot of things that Exploria has been doing, such as kids development for school and then for community. I will share later what we are doing. And then if you have any question, please do ask me. And then if you want to extend the collaboration, please ask me too. Okay, so Exploria is a center, a platform for kids to develop the skill, STEM and teamwork from the early age. So we start to help children to develop their skill from the age of 5 until 17. So how we do is from our kit, from our apps, and from our center. So so today I will share how the movement of Exploria from Exploria ecosystem. Okay, why Exploria comes in is because the first thing is this is but we call that a norm, or is a common problem around the world, which is the workforce in the area of a STEM-related industry decline over years. This is the fact that we need to accept that the students are not interested in taking STEM subject. So the government need to do something, and then not only government but all parties need to do something, because why STEM is very important, because STEM and TVET talent will be the catalyst for the development of the country. So without science and technology, the company cannot grow fast, because everything in this world needs science and it's science and TVET. So what Explora is doing is in line with the vision of Ministry of Education, Ministry of Science and Technology, and the mission of the country. So let me introduce a bit the name of Explora. Okay. The Explora words come from explore area. We want kids to explore with fun. Okay, so that's why the Explora name comes out. We already trademarked and registered the name. It's IPO. So this is our center. So Explora is a module developer and program provider for kids, focusing on hands-on activities. We covered various subjects, including STEM subject, arts, culinary, and soft skills. So as I mentioned before, that we started in 2018. 2018 is a very simple one, with very limited funding, no grant, no loans, and like it's independent. That time, I myself, we started the project just for my hobby. It's not in the beginning. It's not for business. So I come to the library. I remember that time I bring my kids to the library. So I told the library what else the kids can do other than reading books. So because always my kids, they want something else. They want something else after reading. So they want to, like, if not they will end jumping here and there. So they need to do something. So I suggest to the state library that time to have another section in the library, which is for kids to unwind after reading books. So that time they buy in my idea. So I developed a corner, I call that a corner for state library. And then after they read, they have a book reading, they can spend time at that corner to do hands-on activities. So it's not as simple as that. So when I have time, I do that. When I don't have time, other person will do that. So that is the initiative starts in 2018. I still remember in January. So the initiative, so the state government takes the project as their pilot project. So with only one module, I remember that time is just little scientist activities, which is DIY slime. So it's leverage more. So from the only one activities, DIY slime, it start with they do the outreach to school in Pahang that time. So it's a very massive, or it's very fast movement that time. So in 1 year, we cater 10,000 students. So that time, the state government has some funding, and then the school pay for that. So it's very good. And then in 2019, we start leverage our program to Thailand. So and then 2020 is pandemic. It's pandemic. We thought that the company will die, but it's not. So we make 3 times. The sale revenue is 3 times bigger. So it seems like it's not about sales. Actually, it's about the things that this is what the children need for them. Since we are shifting from a paper-based assessment to a skill-based assessment, so from our study, we found that the teachers are not ready. This is the fact that we need to accept. This is the survey that we done to almost 8,000. So we have our case study, 8,000 teachers. Why the STEM and TVET is really hard to be implemented in school. Because STEM and TVET, like when written is okay, but when it's hands-on, to get a better understanding is very difficult. So we try to brainstorm and we do our survey. We found that because teachers are not ready, because the changing is quite fast, so they don't have a strong base for the teachers to give info to the students. So and then another reason is limited resources and funding. So this is another issue. So what Explorer is doing is we provide an affordable ecosystem for everyone to take, and then we merge every we merge many parties in our ecosystem. So to date we do have 23 MOUs with universities, with agencies, with embassy to implement this ecosystem. So at the moment we have 100 modules and kits, and then we already run 200 programs and classes. So in each program, such as the 200 program, so in each program it have another four sub courses. So we do have quite a lot. So we design programs for kids such as robotics, science, baking. So any skills that kids wants to explore. So the issue with when we first start is very simple, and then we found that the interest of children is not only in robotic and science. They do have other skills that they want to explore, such as arts, such as baking. So in baking, actually they learn maths. They learn maths a lot in baking. When they learn about the SI measurement, so from baking activity, they learn faster. If you ask our students when they learn baking, at the end of the day, before that they don't know what is kilogram, what is gram. But at the end of the session, they know quite well what kilogram, what is gram. So that is how Explorer approach do to the children. So what is the real problem? The first one is the number of students taking science are declining over years. The second, children have limited choices of platform to learn skill out of school hours. The third is the shift of education system from paper-based assessment to the skill-based assessment. Teachers are not ready. The fourth problem is most of the online resources like YouTube is not safe. So even though the system are not changing, such as if we still stick to paper-based assessment, but still our children is towards skill-based, towards skills. Our children nowadays, from our survey and our observation, we saw that they are more advanced from our age. They are what we call that they are more like independent actually. They will do things and they will learn things independently. Not because the kids nowadays are more clever compared to our time, but actually the environment that we provide to them make them like that. So so we are in the process of providing data for this actually. We want to understand, even though we are not providing the skill based things, but still the children is we call that they are looking for that. They will find ways to get that. Even and now the kids nowadays they have like access to online resources such YouTube. This is the most common. So they will do by their own to explore the skills. But issue with that, the YouTube is not safe. The parents can't control, and then the children what they saw they just accept it. They just accept it. So Explorer we recognize this problem. So what we try to do is to develop their skill through kids, through apps, and then through program. So who want to have face-to-face, we need to go to our center. Who want to have online learning to develop their skill can access to our apps. Who wants to have it at home, just working independently, can get our kids. So that is what Explorer ecosystem is offering. So and then the numbers of students taking science are declining over years. So this is another finding that we found. We found this year is very surprising. I will share later, because what Explorer is doing, we do our survey, we do our massive survey. We don't do like only 100 respondents. So our survey we cater until we have the data until 10,000 children to 20,000 children. So the size of data is quite big. Even we can do more than that, but we put our limitation only until 10,000. So the number of students taking science are declining over years, and we found that I just share. Kids, if you ask your children, your 5 or until 12 years old children, if you ask them, do you like science? definitely they will say yes. So, but it's quite surprising why like the data said that people don't like science because science is difficult. So we discover 5 to 12 years old they like science, and they're starting at the age of 15 years old. The interest to science start declining. But we found that the interest of science start declining on a paper base, not on a practical base. So they still like science, but in a practical approach. So it means that they still love science, but in a different approach. So the data we still need a lot of respondents from a different background. But the data we have now, we found that even when we do programs and then we do our intervention for STEM and TVET, they are okay. Just the matter of they don't have the opportunity to explore STEM and TVET at their own interest and at their own pace. So so means that the things that we are providing is not in line, or it's not in their interest. All right. So the solution. So what Explora is doing is the first one. Explora we developed STEM, STEAM, STEAM kits, which is A stand for arts, and then we do have our Explora Center, and then we do have our Explora portal that can be accessible through desktop and apps. So this is the kits that we are developed. We have hundreds, from the yesterday figure, 112 kids. So they learn mechanical engineering, they learn electrical engineering, they learn science, they learn chemistry, they learn biology, they learn maths through baking, and they learn solar system. So this is just the kit, and then but we do have a special syllabus. So the kit will be additional in that module. So we do have something like this, the wooden one, and then we do have coding as well. So from to spark their interest until to develop their talent. So we have that. So it's a comprehensive ecosystem. So and then we teach students gardening. So when we talk about smart farming issues these days, what we found that they if the kids our children they need to jump to the advanced level. Like we want to introduce about agro things about plants. So usually what is it? There are missing loop. We found that there are missing loop between the level. So usually they straight away jumping to the smart farming without knowing the basic of plant, the basic of what we call that agro, like the basic of planting a tree. So I don't know what's we still figure out what is what is happening in between. Because when we talk about, because we are talking about IoT, we are talking about coding, we are talking about robotics. So actually in coding, the kids need to have a good maths before they can do coding. And then we talk about IoT, the kids need to have a good design thinking. They need to have a very good critical thinking skills. To summarize, they need to learn how to think actually. So before they can go to advanced level. So at the end of the day, when they go to the advanced level, they just memorize. They just repeat what people has been doing. So the creativity is not there. The design thinking is not there. So what Explora comes in, what we do firstly is to spark, and then they need to learn, they need to create, later then they innovate. So so the process is step by step. So we do have our mutant, Explora Mutant, our Explora Mutant program, which is we do have 700 around Malaysia, 700 around Malaysia, I just shared. So we do this, we focus on the development, not the achievement. There are two different things. Development and achievement is different. So before they achieve something, doing something like extra, doing something like bombastic, they need to develop their skill. So we focus on development of skills. So when it comes to innovation, when it comes to development, things will be fast because the fundamental is quite strong. So so how we do that? We do have engineers to work with us to design our kit, and then we do have in the industrial design to design the kit. So these are usually things like this will be doing by teachers to develop the syllabus. But in Exploria, engineers design the kit. Industrial designer design the shape of it. For the baking, we call a bakers, established bakers to prepare a baking module for the kids. And then we invite teachers to advise on the pedagogy side. And then we do have OT, occupational therapists. Every kids that we produce, we do have all these people to advise and to develop. So most of our workers in Explora is from engineering background. But before we go for a mass what we call that mass production, or we go so the prototype, okay, is always ideas what we want to do. Okay, the reason why we do, as example, the reason why we do dinosaur robotic kit is simple. They want to learn assembling. They want to learn in assembling kits, and then they need to learn how to follow instruction, and then they need to learn how to work independently. So that's why from the manual we designed that. The manual need to be infographic, and then the instruction need to be clear for children. So I just share the manual take us almost at least 20 proofreading, 20 times proofreading. And then we shared to kids, our kids, whether they can do it or not. And then we take times, we record the times for them, how long they need to finish every kit. So things like that. And then why the dinosaur kit, we want to add fun element. Explorer, we always add fun elements to children. And then so from the prototype building, so we will validate like the prototype. It takes us usually 4 months to prepare the prototype until to end product, until we go to the market. So it takes 4 months. Usually what we need to do is after the prototype is complete, after manual is complete, we test. We have a few schools in Malaysia that used to be our pilot study. So we will send to the school. We see what we measure during that time is how they respond towards the kit, and then how's the development process, because kids need to learn how to follow instruction from written. So from that, and then second, how long are the times taken for them to build the kit. So we don't want, okay, why is this important? The first one is if the kids takes too long, they will lose their interest. So they will feel boring. So that's why most of Explorer kits, it only takes 15 minutes as average, or the biggest is the longest is 2 hours. So we won't do more than that. If it takes more than that, we will redo again the kit, or we just scrap out the kit. So if you see, so we do have like as example, mini porch art kit. It's simple. We use that one for a sensory development for special needs children. It's safe. The first one is because the needle is not sharp. So even the needle itself, we custom made. It's not sharp, so it's safe for them. And then we do have other kits, the chemistry kits. most of our chemistry kits is edible. Kids can eat, so it's safe, non-toxic. Because we know that the kids are very curious when they see things like rainbow things. So that's why most of our kits is edible. The chemistry kits, the wooden is not edible. Okay, so most of our chemistry kits is edible. We know that I said I already shared the first time I did with Pahang State Library, our pilot study. I shared just now that the first kit is DIY slime. Kids learn chemistry, kids learn polymer science from DIY slime. So it surprised me because when they got the slime kit, the kid uh the children um try to drink the glue. Is very surprising to me. Try to drink the glue because the glue is colorful, is green color. I remember that time. So but we are safe because the glue is non-toxic. There's no toxic ingredients, and we really particular in terms of supplier. And then our slime kit is as I mentioned before, is edible. Kids can eat just like chewing gum. So that is the things that we are considering when building our kits. And then the color that we use is, as an example for the slime, is food grade coloring. Everything that we do, something that that children have the tendency to taste it or to eat it, so we make it edible. But for the wooden kit, no, the wooden kit is wooden. So if they try to eat, if they cannot eat. So there is like, as an example, how the prototype making for Exploria we do in house. Okay, I just share another one is Magical Garden Kit. Okay, I just share the soil that we use is edible. It's not like normal soil out there. It's a special soil, and this one is edible. It's just fiber. It's just fiber, and then it's safe. So we use this kit for special needs children as well, as part of project-based therapy. So in Malaysia, we do have in Pahang, we do have 86 students that use our ecosystem in their PNP. All right. So another ecosystem that we are offering is Explorer Center. So this is where kids can come, can learn any skills, hands-on, and then they can develop their project here. So part of their project is DIY drawing, and then we do have a science session or science show stage here once a week. And the school can visit, kids can come. All right. So starting this year, Exploria start to have Exploria mini hub. So since we are in Kuantan, Pahang, so it's not reachable for other children outside Pahang. So what we did is we already closed the deal with a few state agencies, universities to have Exploria mini hub at their location. So our location will be Terengganu, Kertih Terengganu, Bukit Mertajam, Pulau Pinang, Kuching, Sarawak, Selangor. We will open up 6 mini hubs, and then Pahang and Kuantan. So means that later, starting, I think the first will be Terengganu, starting next month. Children in Kertih can get access to explore the mini hub and to do activities. So that's why I'm saying that we are moving quite fast. We try to install our ecosystem in every place in Malaysia. We want to be accessible for the children. So not only, so if the location still doesn't have Exploria center or mini hub, they can get our kits and then access to our platform, our online platform. So other Exploria program. So during flight 2021, so it's a big flight in Malaysia. So what we have the kids, we know that emotionally the kids are very sad. They are very sad. I know they are not happy. They need to stay at PPS. So what we did is we make them happy by providing activities for the kids under Explorer Care program. And then as I mentioned before, we do have kids for Explorer for special needs children. So we do have Down syndrome children comes to Explorer to develop their skills. They can choose any skill that they want to do, such as if they want to explore coloring, they can do that. If they want to explore baking, cooking, they can do that in Exploria Center. And then if they want to explore science, they want to do that, they can do that as well. So we want to give room to every children in Malaysia without anyone lacking behind, no matter what's background are they, what condition are they. So at, at the moment they are quite okay. All right. So this one is another ecosystem that we try to develop to reach other students, such as the one is outside our circle, our area. So Explorer, we already developed Explorer apps, which our tagline is any kid can learn any skill anywhere. It's a safe online platform. We have hundreds of skill courses, including coding, science, engineering, art, photography, cooking, and craft. So it can be a source of reference for teachers to create activities for students. So we already kick off this project early this year, but we keep on hold this project because of because there are a bit of maintenance need to be carried out. So we will kick off again end of this month, because we're going to have our very first professional course, certified course for students. So it's going to be certified by MOE and MDEC. So this is our current traction. 50,000 kids participate in Explorer program, and then 20,000 Explorer STEM kids, and then 23 MOUs, and then we do have 100,000 potential leads collected to join our program. So benefit of Explorer to school is the first is to empower education in East Coast, specifically in the area of STEM and TVET. Okay, not only East Coast but the whole world. And then from community to give opportunity to students to explore skill in science and robotics. And then for agency is to help agency to achieve their mission and vision to empower children and community. Okay, this is our school program. So this is a part of the school that subscribe to our program. We do have I think 200 schools this year that join our program. So this is in Pahang, SK St. Thomas, SK Asunta Convent. They do weekly classes with us. So we come to the school and then we train the teachers, or we train the teachers do that by themselves. So this is how we go to community. So it seems like it's not an overnight job. So we already done that since 2018. We try to convince the agency what they need to do and then what we can do together. It's not for me. It's not all about money. It's not all about money. It's more to like how we synergize between the few agencies for our community. At the end of the day, the teachers cannot stand alone do everything. The agency cannot stand alone do everything. So Explorer is a hub that merge between all parties and then lead the ecosystem. So in Pahang, where we've been there in Pahang State Library since 2018, the program runs quite well, even though the workers are not from science background, but what they can do is they already deliver the science and art knowledge to the children quite well. And then we will penetrate Selangor very soon. The date is confirmed. So Explorer will be in 6 locations in Selangor. And then the kids Exploria kids will be in 100 kindergarten in Selangor. So the kids can get accessible. That one is under foundation. So in Kerteh, we will set up our starting September, 1st of September, we will set up our Exploria mini hub. So kids in Kerteh will have the opportunity to access to our face-to-face program. So why Kerteh? Because one thing is most of the residents there is educated, one thing, and but the issue is they aware the needs of children not only in academic but only in skill-based development, but there are no chance to have that in their area because Kerteh is oil and gas area. They can spend, but there is no service provided for them. So Explorer is doing that. So we were invited by the state government to set up the Explorer Center in Kerteh. So Explorer at PPMP since 2018, I would say this is our baby. That time we started with the project name Science Hero. So up to now, it's already 100,000 has done the program. It's very simple one. We call that Science for Community. We train them to do outreach. We train the staff to do outreach for Exploria, and then we supply, and then kids get benefit. So we can see that the role of these agencies is not only in providing books, but they do more than that. So now it become edutainment and recreational area for their community. Okay, next is for university. Okay, for university, we help them because we know that there are many lecturers are very talented in research, and so we collaborate with the university to make their ideas and research becomes commercialized. So we do have one of our drone project is with one of the university. So the lecturer just shared the insight. So the lecturer likes to do, I know most of the lecturer likes to do research. They are doing quite well. They are very talented, and then they have a good purpose. But when it comes to sustainability of the research, it's become a challenge because they don't have funding. So I'm a lecturer. Last time. I can foresee that. I feel that. But at the end of the day, I quit because I want to focus one thing. So I realized that the challenge they can do at the end of the day, their talent is just stop at the intermediate level. So what we did is they get IPs. We try to help them to get IPs. Even to get IPs is not cheap. And then what we want when we collaborate with them, when they design a prototype, we bring that to the market. So it becomes a good synergy between the university and Exploria, and then they do like I can just now I mentioned about our slime kit is non-toxic because we already done the lab test. The lecturer helped us to do the lab test. We can do that by our own by just paying any labs, but we want to appreciate the talent in university. So that's why this year we already signed 7 MOUs with universities. One of that is UCYP itself. Thank you to UCYPs. And then with UMP. So we do have one module that we developed together with UMP, which is drone courses. So that one is now funded by in less than 1 year. MDEC see the potential, so MDEC sponsored that, and then the program, I will call that a certified program for children endorsed by Ministry of Education. So at the end of the day, the drone courses, we want to fulfill the needs of the school, teachers, students. So what we do is we provide a competition, national level competition. After they learn the courses, they will participate in the competition. So it's a comprehensive ecosystem. It cannot be done with only one party. So Exploria do that. So we're going to have more certified courses like that. because the courses will be broadcast in our apps very soon, in 15th of September, the courses. But before that, we already have 2,000 kids that will join the courses, sponsored by MDEC, endorsed by MOE. Okay, so all right. Next is, okay. This is the key things what Exploria is doing. Okay, first is the discovery, and then the design thinking. Okay, ideation, experimentation, prototype, and evolution. So that is the things that I would like to share how we are doing. All right. So the design thinking. So the first is laser cutter is our best friend. Laser cutter is our best friend. So our staff need to know how to use laser cutter, because there is where everything starts. So the engineer will cut the design, and then what's next is they need to test for the children. We do have our pilot students. So what we did is what area we want to tackle, and to whom. So next we come up with design. The industrial designer will come up with the design. The engineer, the mechanical engineer will come up with the science, and then the teachers will advise on the pedagogy. So it's going to be comprehensive. So and then when we already done the prototype making, and that is already validated to the children, what we do next is we provide a courses. We design a specific syllabus, which is online courses and physical courses. So all right, before I further do, so I present. Present is I believe that it takes a village to raise a child. All right, before I further present about about my case study, because I'm going to share a few case studies, I open for questions. If you want to ask any question, you are welcome.
Yes, participants and viewers, if you have any question, you may proceed your questions in the chat box, and then I may direct it to Dr. Raihan. Or you may also unmute your mic and personally ask Doctor. All right. Okay, if we could have any question from the floor. Doctor, we have a question here from Azrul Harun asking, how long does it take to prepare the kits? Yes, doctor, you may unmute your mic.
All right. How long it takes for every kid? Okay, it depends on the complexity of the kid. Okay, kids overnight. There are kids that we develop until 4 months. The development process is not only the designing. So we talk about until what we call that the pilot studies. So usually the average times of a kids building is 4 months for us until we do the pilot studies, until we test to the children. So usually we will test at least to 100 children. It depends on the kids. Like kids, we already test to 500, at least 500 children before we market. So that's why, like this year, for next year, we already do the prototype making for the kids. So it's already like Exploria, we always 1 year advance. For next year, we already know what we want to do. So like 4 months, not only we focus on one kid. we do have like mechanical kits. Okay, we want to do 6. So now this month we will finish off our six Explora kits. So at one time 4 months, 6 kits. Because we do have a few engineers working with us. So every one of them will have one project. And then we have a few teachers working with us. So yeah, we do that. So why is it neatly? Because there are like special kits such as drone kits. Our drone kits actually we already kick off 1 year ago. 1 year ago. It's a long time. Just this year we want to highlight the drone kits because kids are coming back to school. Why not next year? The issue with drone is safety. So we want them to fly the drone with us to be there or the teachers to be there. So that's why this year we kick off the drone kits, and then in 2 months 3,000 kids will be out of school. So that's why like Exploria every kids, and it's seasonal. Like explore the drone kit is only until December. So we months, yeah. Any questions?
Okay, doctor, thank you so much for that answer. Next question is, what are the challenge faced when Exploria using the kits to the children's, and how does it affect the children interests?
Okay, so the challenge faced when Exploria using the kits to the children. So from the Exploria sites, usually we already recognize the problem during the pilot study. So the challenge is always the manual. The manual is, it seems like we thought the kit itself, but it's not the kit, but the manual. So the manual need to be very, I just share, Explorer takes a year to learn to develop a manual that's suitable for children. And then the picture is another issue, which is it just need to be clear. It need to be like the children can see that. So it's not easy to make the children see the thing that we want them to do without talking to them. So now Exploria, we call that we mastered in the manual making, even though the person that do our manual is very experienced. It's always from industrial design, because they know what is going on, and always from teachers. So it's only manual. The kid to emphasize on the manual because we want the children to be independent learning. So we want them to do independent learning. Why? Not because we cannot want to initiate the independent learning. So I like the their faces when they are finished off one project. They will have a big smiles because they can complete it by themselves. We won't help them. We won't help them until we know they are struggling. So that is why the Explorer manual is very important. And then how does it affect the children interest? I just share are very interested in mechanical, let's say they like building, but the children want them to do science, chemistry. So that is the factor that affect the children interest, because we are not giving what the children wants and what the children needs. So usually when things like that happening, it will affect their children interest. And then so far every kids will love Exploria. Just the matter of are they choosing the right kids for their children. So that's it. And then for in terms of interest, I will share later, because so Exploria is not only cater the urban children, not only town or urban children. We cater until the rural area, very rural. Last month we went to Sarawak. Last week we went to Sarawak to do our case study with Unimas. So it's surprisingly they can perform just like the urban children. Even though the urban children have a better opportunity to explore this thing, actually they can do, the performance is the same. The performance is the same, just they don't have the exposure to have to know earlier. Okay, I think is there any question? Is there any question?
No more questions, Doctor.
Okay,
Thank you so much for that answer, Doctor.
Okay. All right, so I was going to share the case study from our side. Actually, Explorer has done a lot of case study. So when we do pilot study, we take data to understand the children. So usually we collaborate with universities. That's why I always, when I go to university, when we do MOU signing, I always work to work with us, because the data is there for them for purpose, and that is valid, because it's not only is something like, and then the size of data is big. Like I just shared for the drone, 2,000 drones is going out. I think because already we do our first distribution yesterday. 2,000 drone will benefit 10,000 children. So the target is, that one is sponsored by agencies, YSE school, the rural area schools. So actually, if you want to to include this is your case study, because the tools is already there. So everything is, you need to like distribute the questionnaire and then do the survey tools for that. So case study, project-based learning using Explorer Kit after lockdown. So we do have, I just shared, we do have data during lockdown, after lockdown, and then before lockdown. So we do have all the data, and then we saw the trend during lockdown. Actually, it's a good thing. During lockdown, we found that children are more independent in learning using Explorer Kit, because we give them space, we trust them, and then they have no choice, because they are boring is good thing, so they will find something to explore. So that's why when kids are boring, we like it, because they will find something. So instead of we keep giving them, so when kids are busy, usually they don't have the opportunity to explore, because everything is spoon. All right. So background of study, school closure. This is for staff, 1 year education disruption. This is a universal crisis for some children. The impact will be lifelong. So it's very straightforward. From if other person report this, I think it's very, I agree with that. It's not only Malaysia have this problem. So 1 year of education disruption, because not everyone has the opportunity skills that they should have. Children struggle to understand the importance, see the connection between what they learn in the classroom and the what happening of the real world. And then students also have the perception that science subject being either too difficult. So we discover that not because they don't like the science itself, but they found that assessment tools are difficult. Not the science is difficult, but the assessment tool. So we do have during our program to school, at the moment we do have 8,000 data. We always ask them, do you, but what they don't like most, because of the exam is hard. So because the exam is hard, to understand the question is one thing, to answer the question is another thing. To do the practical is different thing actually. Most of the children, if you ask them, if Explorer ask them, do you like lab session? Yes, they do like lab session. So what makes them don't like science? I don't understand. So but we cannot blame any system, because there are limited funding. There are limited funding, limited resources, limited researchers that are doing things for them, that are developing a program for them. So yeah, so that's why I would like to urge to invite all parties to cooperate for the children. All right. So the children literature review. Sorry, I think this one is pretty normal. This is for American, but I mean half of American says more people don't pursue STEM because of difficulty of the subject. So it's very normal. Normal reason because it's difficult. All right. The research that we done is to 10 to 12 years old children. Okay, so the population and sample, okay, why 10 to 12? This one is we try to 7 to 9, but the data is not consistent because first the children they don't understand the questions. Do the written one. So we want a very valid data. I'm not saying that everyone, but like if you go to the rural area, like so the students still cannot read well, so there's no point to do for the 7. So it will become error to our data. So that's why in this one we only focus to 12 years old children around Asia, and then we do have 3,086 respondents. So we do have data bigger than this, but we just share the 3,086 respondents. 1,000 from rural schools, government schools, 1,000 students from cluster school, government schools, 1,000 students from international school, private school, and then 86 special needs students. But there are discrepancy, there are error when we do 86 special needs students. That's why I'm not going to share the data for 86 special needs students because there are things that we need to consider. Okay, how we do the survey is the research tools is with a STEM box students. So we give during the school is opening. It's going to, and then we have 4 weeks. We had 4 weeks virtual courses through Explorer portal. So that one, the Explorer STEM box have the engineering kit, art kits, and robotic kits. It's all inclusive. We distribute to school. And then the research measurement we do is questionnaire for students, times recorded to complete each project assignment. Then C is written quiz. So this is questionnaire for students to know their interest in STEM and STEM box, and then to know their acceptance. And then the time recorded to complete each project assignment. Then manual, kids, and then learning, the portal. So during the 4 weeks, you need to learn. It's going to be 8 weeks, 8 weeks courses. 4 weeks they learn theory. They learn theory. We record our they do the program at school with teachers. So it's going to be 8 weeks, 4 weeks learn theory, how to do that. And then another 4 weeks, the first weeks doing engineering project based on the videos that they already watched. And then second weeks doing science, third weeks doing robotic, fourth week doing. So we record the time. We want to know why we record the time, because we want to know the performance of each student in completing the project. Because in our assumption first, we thought that rural students will have a delay in completing the project because they don't have exposure. Okay, so it surprised us because I will share later. The performance is surprised us quite a lot. The finding that we found that the average time completion of each hands-on project for rural student cluster school. Cluster is the urban school, and then international school student are within 50 to 60 minutes. It's almost the same. So the hands-on project, it doesn't show any significant difference when completing the project. And then the second is the average quiz scores. Okay, quiz scores, we provide to them a % for rural student, 87% for cluster school student, and 82%, this is the average, international school students. So it seems that, and then we figure out from this, the international school student, the area, like say for engineering kid, when they that time we give our drone kits. So it's written quiz. Then like for international school students have a basic knowledge. So when it comes to written, there are a few questions that needs early exposure. They already know that. And then for rural student, they still can do it, but it takes time for them. Like international school student, when we give the revision for them, for rural students, it's like a new. So the interest to STEM and TVET increased. Finding the program, this is how we measure that. Is the first one is always questionnaire, and then interview, and then the attendance. So after the week's program, what we did is we offered a weekly class to them. So 95% of them joined our weekly class. So before that, when we take our survey who want to join our program, only 60%. So now 95% of the student will join our weekly class. It's a continuous program. So there's a lot of data need to be taken. For future research for this study is to study on the impact of project-based learning after lockdown, and then to study the impact of weekly science and robotic class for students. And then the third is to study the effect of project-based therapy through STEM activity amongst special needs children. So as I mentioned before, we got respondent from the special needs children. So we need special tools to measure that. Because when we interview them, and or if we give questionnaire to them, it's not really valid, because there are a lot of limitation, especially on communication with special needs children. So we need another tools to measure that. So we call the project is project-based therapy, because when doing the hands-on project is part of their therapy. So actually, we already done this project-based therapy with 86 students in Pahang. It's run quite well. The student can complete it, but to extract the data, we only can extract things that we see. It's like it's really hard to get their feedback, because in terms of communication, so we only can get things we can see, such as the time completion. So at the moment there are two types of students, especially students that we carried the study. The first one is autism. The second is Down syndrome. So far the autism kids, there are this very spectrum. So there are a lot of studies we need to do more. So the fourth one is to study the impact of drawing courses and junior drawing competition among students, the one that I mentioned just now. I think I have questions. Okay, all right. Not yet. All right. So I would like to share. This is our new baby. This year. So we just kick off. DIY drone. I will proudly to share this is developed by our team, Astoria and University Malaysia Pahang, from a researcher doing drone courses for industry. I approached them. I told them, I want to do for the kids. Can you help me in terms of the facts or the science info? And then they said yes. So our engineers start working with them to do the prototype, building the prototype. MDEC knows that. We mentioned MDEC because MDEC is our alliance. MDEC fund this project, and then MDEC bring this to Ministry of Education, and Ministry of Education take this one as one of the competition. So this one will benefit 10,000 children in 2 months around Malaysia, mostly rural students. This drone can fly. It can fly. The simple one, assembling do assembling and can fly, and then if you want to do more, you can do some coding there. All right. So the content for the drone courses, the 8 hours content, 4 weeks, we develop together with Pahang State Library. So it's very neat process. But the framework behind that, Exploria do that. So that's why it's like a puzzle. To complete the puzzle, we bring in talented people to work on this project. To completion everything, the ecosystem, it only takes 2 months to get everything from the prototype funding, 2 months. But we already know that we are doing this last year. Only this year we open up our textbook again. So our, what we call that, our product books. We in Exploria, we know that April to May, what we want to do. May to September, what we want to do. So we open up and we bring the partners. So I would like to open, if you have any question, you can ask me. So next is project UNICEF, exploring out UNICEF for STEM and TVET in Southeast Asia. To do this as well. Because we, like Exploria, we only not focusing on, when we talk about science and TVET, STEM and TVET, people will only talk about robotics, IoT, robotics, coding. Actually, the world of science is not only science and robotics, it's not only coding, but there are a lot of things such as chemistry, such as biology, such as mathematics. These are all science, all in the STEM and TVET area. When we talk about TVET, it's not only mechanical, it can be baking, TVET, vocational, isn't it? So that's the thing that Explorer would like to emphasize. At the moment, the system itself only focus on only one chunk of the things, but at the end of the day, what they want to measure is the entrance of students to university taking science subject. So the entrance to other courses than robotic as well, they will measure. So when intervention, they only focus on robotics. So that's why what Explora is doing is we cater every field that in our expertise. All right. So we are helping UNICEF. Me. So if you have any question, you can just contact me direct, raihan.musa09@gmail.com. So I open the question, or if you want to know more about the data, you can ask me, because we have a lot of data. Just I think due to time constraint, I'm not going to present everything. All right.
Thank you, Doctor. That was a very insightful sharing, which I certain is greatly beneficial for the participant and also even the viewers as well. All right. Now maybe we should proceed to our Q&A sessions. So participants and viewers, if you have any question, you may leave the question on the chat box, or you may also unmute your mic and directly ask Dr. Raihan if you have any things in mind. All right, Dr. Raihan, I have my own personal questions for you. Okay, okay. In the beginning of your slides just now, you are saying that the shift of the education systems have changed from paper-based to the skill-based. Okay, all right. But the teacher is not ready. Okay, the teacher is not ready. So from your own kind of views, maybe on the perspective of Exploria self, how we could actually cater this matter?
All right. Okay, this one is very good question. Thank you, the moderator. Okay, first, the teachers are not ready. Okay, we find the causes why the teachers are not ready. So in our survey, we already like distribute our questionnaire. The first one is the reality that we need to accept. The first is the support. when they implement a new system, at least they need 1 or 2 years of support before they can deliver to the students. So that's what we can do. So what you cannot put everything at one agency. We ourselves need to help. We can help before we start complaining. So what we do is how we can help them. The first is to provide an ecosystem. First, training. Second is the corporate that have a good financial, maybe can fund the project. Like let's say, because when we talk about hands-on, it needs tools. It need to be bought. It need to be bought. So that is a thing that how we can support them. So we need to provide something economical for them. So if not, they need to get outside resources, overseas resources, because in overseas, things like this is quite cheap. Like the things that we are doing is quite cheap because they are locally sourced. So what Explora is being, or what we can do is to provide the tools, the affordable tools from them to do that. Or else, one thing is to do workshop. I met Pusat STEM Negara last week. They are not big. Agency, but they are doing quite what we call it, quite intensive to help the teachers. So that's why we like universities, agencies need to provide support to the teachers. Like teachers, I ask them, why don't you do this and that? Not because they cannot do it, not because they are good enough. Just the matter of time. They need to handle the children, but they don't have much time to do their research, to do their research. And so at the end up, they just follow what they have been trained before. So with Pusat STEM Negara, I asked them. So they are one of the agency that design the STEM ecosystem in MOE. But they told me that they cannot do everything. So we agencies, companies need to help the teacher through through collaboration, such as I just shared the hub that we are sharing, so accessible to kids. So yeah, any question? That's from me. Yeah, any questions?
Thank you so much, Doctor, for the answers. Yes, if we could have any more questions from the floor. All right, I'm afraid there is no more questions, Doctor.
Okay, sure.
I guess you already explained it very well to everyone. Okay, so thank you so much, each one of you for joining our workshop sessions with our beautiful Dr. Raihan. Okay, and we're going to move to our second agenda for today, the paper presentations. All right, please be reminded that there will be a parallel sessions begins right directly at 10 a.m. Okay, kindly ensure that you're going to join the right room, as there will be 2 parallel sessions. Okay, so we're going to end the workshops now. Let's take a break for a while and we continue later. Thank you and see you there.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Raihan.
Thank you.
Yes.
Firman Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala dalam surah Al-Baqarah ayat 60, dan janganlah kamu melakukan kejahatan di bumi dengan membuat kerosakan. Saya mengalu-alukan pembangunan yang maju dan serba moden. Walau bagaimanapun, ianya bukanlah alasan untuk kita mengabaikan alam sekitar dan melakukan kemusnahan sesuka hati. Maklumat tidak sesekali menghalalkan cara.
This is Pahang, first prize winner Art Jamila. This is Pahang has been chosen as the state's new tourism theme as part of a strategy to revive the industry after being badly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Pahang State Government, through collaboration between UCYP, Tourism Pahang and the Malaysian Rehabilitation Council, organized a photography and painting competition to enliven the activities in conjunction with this new theme. This competition is open to all levels from students to professional artists in 2 categories, Open Category and People with Disabilities, PWD. This competition is a platform to highlight talent through the production of artwork and encourage the local community to maintain the original heritage of Pahang and further highlight the local culture to the international stage and increase public awareness about the potential of tourism in the state of Pahang. The new theme introduces various special elements owned by the state of Pahang Darul Makmur. Pahang is rich in natural resources and a tourist treasure to be proud of in addition to its strategic geographical position, unique food variety, as well as breathtaking panoramas. In addition, This is Pahang also plays a role in the importance of sustainable tourism development in order to minimize the negative impact on ecology. A responsible approach leads to a society that is able to maintain and preserve the originality of natural resources, forest treasures, customs, heritage, and culture. This is Pahang also describes the elements of unity and solidarity because all levels of society are indirectly involved in efforts to promote the state of Pahang. This is Pahang is seen as so close and significant to the local community as well as foreign visitors and able to boost the tourism sector of Pahang Darul Makmur. Art Jamila has won the first prize in the PWD category of this competition. This painting highlights the emotions of joy and the wonderful experience you can get in Pahang, a place that is rich in various cultures, foods, destinations, and heritage. You can feel excitement in many activities from the ocean floor to mountain tops. Tourists can snorkel in the sea to see the beautiful coral reefs in Tioman Island. They can also visit stalls selling dried fish or ikan kering on the beach to get a taste of what Pahang's waters have to offer. Pahang also has its own unique culture, such as Joget Pahang that is performed by both men and women, as well as their own musical instruments, such as the gendang. Another thing to await in Pahang is the delicious traditional cuisine, like the ikan patin tempoyak, a type of catfish cooked in yellow gravy you'll want more after one try. A famous dessert you can get there is the kueh badak berendam, which is easy to chew and tastes as sweet as a good
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome back, all participants and viewers. Welcome to our parallel session 1, room A. Okay, everybody, without further ado, we shall now proceed with our first speaker for these sessions. I would like to welcome Safrida Lubis from Universitas Negeri Medan, Indonesia. Ms. Safrida will be presenting on developing worksheet to show creative to improve students' writing skills in English and literature departments. Ms. Safrida, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ibu.
Welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the title of this is Developing Worksheet through Socrative to Improve Students' Writing Skills in English and Literature Department. This research is conducted in order to promote the students' 21st century skills as it is demanded by 21st century learning. So we try to give instant feedback for the students when they do worksheet, especially for writing. This research is conducted when it is implemented, it is conducted online, and then another rationale is because so far the lecturer only used Google Form in the learning management systems of Universitas Negeri Medan. So in this case, the students will get the response from the lecturer, but the response is not instant. It means that as soon as the students use their finish their worksheet, they do not give have get instant feedback for the result of their worksheet. Therefore, we try to design and develop a worksheet for writing through Socrative, because this application can give instant feedback for the students as soon as they finish working on their worksheet. And then the steps in designing and developing the worksheet, we log into this Socrative application. We create the quiz, and then we can create various types of quiz like true, false, short answers, and others. And then we import the quiz. Then we can implement the quiz by giving the username to the students, and then after that the students will get instant feedback from us after we download the report of their worksheet. And so it is interactive. So the aim of this research is to develop worksheet through Socrative for in English and Literature Department, Universitas Negeri Medan. The method here we use AD model where we start from analyzing the students' needs, and then we design and develop the worksheet, and then next we do the implementation online, and at last we evaluate whether it improves the students writing, it in their motivation in writing because of the instant feedback. And then 3 instruments that we use in this research is questionnaire. This is to analyze the students' needs, and then documentary, and also interview. This is the result. We, as I have mentioned just now, that so far we only use Google Form that is input in SIPDA Learning Management System. So that's we try to design and develop the new one, which is interactive for the students. And then this was conducted because there isn't any standard of for a writing worksheet, and then because we want to try Socrative application, and then because we want to design and develop the more sophisticated worksheet for the students. And the result of the need analysis, a number of 64% of students stated that they strongly need the worksheet, which is based on Socrative application. This is the layout of Socrative applications that maybe some of you are familiar with this. So we try to log in into the application, and we choose the menu that we can choose select which one, because this we can it depends on the lecturer whether they want to use this in class, online or offline, or the lecturer can open access after class, for instance, in 1 or 2 days or in 1 week. So the students can open the worksheet, then they can repeat as many as they can to do the worksheet. And this is the sample of the worksheet that we design. And after implementing the worksheet, it is proof that the students' motivation improve in working on the worksheet, because they get instant feedback, because we share the result of their worksheet as soon as they finish working on it. In a number of 37.90% so of them are in advanced, and 44.90% in intermediate. So it can be concluded that using this application, because this is still new for them, it improve their motivation. They feel interested in doing the worksheet because they do not need to wait a longer time to get the result of their quiz, and they can repeat it whenever they like if the lecturer open access for them. So in conclusions, the students need a worksheet which is interactive, and based on this research, the students' motivation in writing improve. In this case, we use this application especially for giving the concept for the students, like the concept of paragraph writing, essay writing, and other topics related to basic writing. That is all my presentations, Ibu. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Thank you so much, Bu Safrida. Right. So now I would like to open the Q&A sessions to the viewers. All right. If you could have any questions, you may post it in the chat box. Right. We do have a question here. All right, for Ms. Safrida, yes, the question is, how can we implement Socrative in an English language classroom?
We implement this.
Yes,
Can I
yes.
answer the questions? Okay,
You
thank
may
you,
proceed,
Ibu.
yes.
We implement this worksheet through online class because last semester we also still in COVID-19, so we didn't go to class for this. So the implementation was conducted online. So this this application can be used for online and offline. So we in online class, we first ask the students to use their mobile because we do not need to open this application through notebook. And then we can organize them through WhatsApp group or Zoom. It depends on the lecturer, because when some of the our students are from suburb areas where the network also sometimes unstable. So sometimes we organize this through WhatsApp group. So they because they have to open the application in order that it is not difficult for them to open to Zoom and the Socrative application at the same times, because they are far away. So when we organize them through WhatsApp group, it is easier for them. So they will see when to start. Then we open the access for them, send them the username. Then they get into the application. Then we can see the process of them working on the worksheet since the first questions up to the last questions. Who has a login and who has not logged into the application. That is the way we implemented this. Then we also limit the time when we close or stop the finish the there is an icon in the application. When we click on finish, then they cannot do the questions any longer. That is the way we implement this worksheet.
So there is a limit time for them to access to the application.
Yes,
Right.
yes, because we remind them for 10 questions or 15 questions for about 5 minutes only. So we remind them at the very beginning of the session.
Right. Okay, thank you so much for the answers. Is there any more question from the floor? Maybe the last question is for Ibu. What kind of activities that teachers can provide by using Socrative? Any example of activities that teacher will provide using this?
Yes, thank you for the questions. Using this application, the lecturer or teacher can give the students worksheets. In this case, I mean quizzes. Like in our research, we give them concept of writing, like a paragraph writing, the concept of essay writing, but I think there are many activities can be used through this application, because for reading comprehension, for instance, because we can give the attach the text in this application, then we give the questions. So this is also can be done not only for writing, but for reading comprehension, also listening. Yeah, that's it.
4 skills of learning language, right?
Yes.
Thank you
yes.
so much, Ibu Safrida Lubis, for the presentations. We are now going to move
Thank
to
you,
our
Ibu.
next speaker. Yes, you're welcome. To our second speaker from UCYP Malaysia. Please welcome Mr. Ahmad Adli. Mr. Ahmad Adli will be presenting on learning a level of preschool children through interactive media learning approach in district of Johor Bahru. Please welcome Mr. Ahmad Adli.
Is it loud and clear?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
thank you. Yeah, you may proceed. The floor is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Okay, my name is Ahmad Ali Rosli. I will present learning level of preschool children through interactive media learning approach in district of Johor Bahru. The introduction. In 21st century education, teaching and learning process were active, creative, and innovative. Through Nur 14, 2021, multiple input through technology and development by using of interactive media. Education in Malaysia, Minister of Education.
Mr. Ahmad Adli, I'm sorry to interrupt you. May I ask, do you have any slides to share with us?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I do. Sorry.
Okay, it's
For
okay.
inconvenience. Okay.
All right, now we can clearly see the slides now. All right, you may proceed.
I'm apologize for that technical just now. Okay. Introduction. Teaching and learning process is more active and creative and also innovative. Nur 14, 2021, multiple input through technology development and through interactive media. Education in Malaysia, Minister of Education stated that ICT as a main medium on teaching and learning. Hanifah Mahad, 2020, said that education need change in teaching and learning based on technology. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Nur Akalili 2020 impacting education sector as well. because all learning institutions shut down. The main challenge is teaching and learning still need to be carried out. Problem statement. Disadvantage of conventional teaching and learning. Nur Azman stated that one way were lack of interactive and creative and critical thinking and may cause lack of decision making. Technology and development, multimedia, generate general massive of knowledge. Mijna 2018 said stated that interactive media learning generates interactive media usage towards kids, technology generation, towards teacher challenge, and towards all generation. Importance of new teaching and learning approach. Nur Fatin 2021. Teacher must be adaptive to technology approach. There is a certain challenge that teachers need a positive perception and skill in managing interactive media and teaching and learning. And teacher also must to adapt and apply interactive media. Okay, the research objective. Teachers need to research objective is to identify teacher challenge in managing online classes using interactive media, investigate learning level of preschool children through interactive media learning, knowing steps that can be carried out by preschool teachers to minimize challenges implementing interactive media learning. Study question that have been used. What are teachers' challenges in managing online class using interactive media? What are the learning level of preschool children through interactive media? And what are the steps that can be carried out by preschool teachers to minimize challenges implementing interactive media learning? Theoretical framework. I've been used Wallace reflective model. That is professional training skills to receive knowledge and experiential knowledge. In education, these two knowledge are interrelated and interdependent. Through the skill of preschool teachers are one of the determining factors in achievement of children learning levels. The combination of this knowledge produces preschool teachers who are receptive, confident, and ready to implement the interactive media learning approach. Next, TAM, that is Theory Acceptance Model 2000 by Venkatesh and Davis. The most prominent model in measuring the application acceptance of technology based on the attitude of technology users. Acceptance of technology is influenced by social usage, compliance, norms, and voluntarism, job suitability, quality of output and demonstration of results towards perception, attitude, belief, and ease of use of technology. It is further stated that the behavior of using technology is determined by the perception of the importance of using technology, perceived usefulness, and the ease of using this technology, perceived ease of use. These are the method that I use. First, research design by using a qualitative method. I do survey. Second, by population and sample. The population that I use, preschool teachers in Johor Bahru district, 80 random sampling respondents. The research instruments, I've been used questionnaire form, adopt Wallace reflective model, and theory acceptance model. Data collection by using WhatsApp application, permission to do survey form distribution, preschool teachers in Johor Bahru district. Next, questionnaire that I use consists of 2 parts with four main components with total of 22 questions. Lastly, data analysis that I used was SSPS statistical package, social and science version 26, frequency, percentage and mean, statistical descriptive. These were the findings, which all can be concluded as the mean was moderate. Interactive media gadget families such as computer. And next, we can see the second part. The mean shows, all of the mean shows at a high level that they were strong. Most of them shows high level mean, and the last one same as the second. That mean shows that they are all frequency percentage was high. That's all. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmad Adli. We will now proceed a few minutes for the Q&A sessions. If anyone do have any question, you may proceed the questions in the chat box, or even you may unmute your mic and ask directly to Mr. Ahmad Adli. Any question from the floor? All right, we do have a question here. In what terms interactive multimedia benefit children's learning? Mr. Ahmad Adli, you may want to answer that questions.
In what terms interactive multimedia benefits children learning?
Yes.
Okay. In my self opinion, I do believe that interactive multimedia do benefits for children in their visionary learning. I mean by visionary skills, so they can adapt that very quickly. And I do believe by having a good slides or presentation for children, for interact them to learning well, so the children can adapt a different style of learning for them.
Is it all, Mr. Ahmad Adli?
Next, children also can explore new learning styles. Exactly, they can have a lot of benefit for them.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ahmad Adli, for the answers. If we do have any more questions. Any more questions from the floor before I end Mr. Adli's sessions? I'm afraid there is no more questions. Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmad Adli, for your presentation just now. All right, we now going to move on to the next speaker. But before that, I would like to remind everybody, if you have any comments or if you have any questions, you may directly write it down in the chat box, okay, during the presentations, and I will direct the questions to the speaker. All right. Okay, now I humbly invite Mr. Roland Fredericks from UCRP with the titles "The Role of Parents in Assisting Social Developments of Children Through Play Activities During Movement Control Order." Please welcome Mr. Roland.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Roland.
Sorry, I can't turn on my camera because I have camera issue on my laptop.
Okay.
Is it okay?
All right, Mr. Roland. You share with us your slide? Okay, thank you. We could see the slide. All right, you may
Okay.
proceed. Thank you.
Thank you. A very good morning to all participants and viewers. Okay, first thing first, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Roland Frederick and I'm from University College of Yayasan Pahang. And today I would like to present about my research. The title is The Role of Parents in Assisting Social Development of Children Through Play Activities During Movement Control Order, MCO. Okay, next, introduction. Malaysia is very affected by the existence of this COVID-19 because indirectly it has a big impact, especially in educational institution. The Malaysian Ministry of Education, KPM, is recommended to provide a comprehensive guide to parents in helping the learning and teaching process, PDPR, at home throughout the Movement Control Order, MCO period. Because of this Movement Control MCO, all nursery and kindergarten are closed. Due to the closure of all nursery and kindergarten, parents will have more free time with their children at home. These play activities is very important and needs to be carried out at home other than kindergarten, especially during this period of movement control where children spend their time at home, and for children, playing is their natural desire, according to Krauss, 1990. Okay, next we go to the problem statement. How parents control children in play activities at home, how they socialize either with them or other siblings. Next, parents began to take on the task of educating teachers at home. The emergence of the COVID-19 virus outbreak has caused significant changes in daily life for children, adolescents, and their family, according to Moritel 2020. Next, parents need to be better understand the situation of children who are not allowed to leave the house to play or doing adventure activities. Next is problem controlling children's behavior. Okay, this is because most of parents have difficulty controlling the children because nowadays during the MCO period, most parents have to work from home. Okay, next, parents need to know how to spend free time with children at home. Parents unable to manage time properly. This is because parents work from home. They always have time management problem because they work from home. Okay, next is parents always give gadget to children. Because parents work from home, they always give their children gadgets, and children's learning will slow down because they are often exposed to these gadgets. Okay, next we go to research objective. First objective is to identify the method of implementation of play activities by parents at home for children during the MCO. Next, identify the role of parents in helping improve children's social skill while playing at home during MCO. And the third objective is identifying parent challenges in providing play activities during the MCO. And the research question is, what are the methods of implementing play activities planned by parents for children during MCO. And the next question is, what is the role of parents in helping improve children's social skills while playing at home during MCO? And the third question is, what are the challenges for parents in providing play activities during MCO? Okay, next we go to the theories. First, theories of child social development. Social developments involve a socialization process that allows children to learn social behavior or make social adjustment in a certain environment or their social environment. Children's social development can be studied through several important aspects of socialization, such as the process of imitation and identification, play activities, and social cognitive development. Children's social development consists of the skills to interact with others, the formation of self-identity, self-esteem, and self-control, according to Rohani Abdullah, 2019. Next is the concept of the children's social skills. Social skills are one of the skills that children acquire while playing. These skills are acquired directly or indirectly by children. According to Elksnin 2016, social skills are any cognitive behavioral reaction that can be seen when individuals interact with other individuals. Social skill can be seen from the cooperative behavior, independence, friendship, respond to an activity, and doing things expected by the adults, according to Rohani Abdullah, 2019. With this, children development, especially their social development, will increase if there is parental involvement in PDPR during this MCO. Okay, then the last theory is concept of Vygotsky zone of proximal development, ZPD. According to Froster, 1992, ZPD is the distance between a child's current level of development determined by solving problem on his own and the level of potential development determined through problem solving under the help or guidance from adults. The full development of the ZPD depends entirely on social interaction. Skills can be developed with adult guidance, according to Kersley, 1994. Next is application of Epstein parental involvement model 2001. Epstein parental involvement model 2001 focuses on the involvement of parents in various forms to educate children in school and in the community. According to Sharifah Hanalia and Nursida, 2021. Epstein outlines 6 methods of parental involvement that are interconnected between family, school, and community, namely parenting, communication, volunteer service, family learning, decision-making, collaboration with community, and parenting. Okay, next we go to the methodology. For the research design, I use quantitative research by making question from Google Form. For the research instrument, this research is an instrument from, I gain the data from the questionnaire. Population and sample. Total respondent is 20 men and 30 women who answered online question according to studies. Parents around Kuantan who became the sampling material was 50 people. And the questionnaire contains 2 parts, namely part A and part B. Section A is related to demographic of the respondents, while part B is related to the objective of the studies, which is be used as a guideline for the researcher. Okay, and next we go to the research finding section A. As we can see, this is a pie chart of distribution of respondent by gender. There are 60% or 30 female answered this question, and 40% or 20 male answered this question. And next we go to distribution of respondent by age. 8 respondents who are less than 20 years old obtain a percentage of 16%. 16 people or 32% for the group age group of 21 to 30 years. 22 respondents with a percentage of 44% were aged 31 to 40 years. Next is 4 people with a percentage of 8% only aged between 41 and 50 years old. Okay, next we go to the marriage status pie chart. As many as 84% who are married and a total of 44 respondents, and 8 respondents who are single, which is 16% answered this question. Okay, next, we go to the section B, finding. This is the average mean for the research objective. First objective is the implementation of play activities carried out by parents at home for children during MCO. The mean is 3.7. Second objective is the role of parents in helping to improve children's social skills while playing at home during MCO, and the mean is 3.35, moderate. Third objective is parent challenges in providing play activities during MCO, and the mean is the 3.5. As we can see, the objective means all moderate or medium. Okay. Next is suggestion. Parents should have a better understanding of their children's social skills, and parents should also know why this development is very important for children. Okay, this is because this needs to be implemented, especially for their children, especially during movement control order MCO, so that their child's development does not lag behind. And next is parents must make a systematic plan in planning game activities that can be done together with children during MCO. Okay. In conclusion, play activities are very important to the social development of children, especially during the movement control order MCO. This study proved that children times will be more beneficial and can prevent
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Rollins, are you there? Again, I would like to call up Mr. Roland. Mr. Roland, okay, I think there's a technical issue with Mr. Roland's line. Okay, maybe we could actually directly ask if there is any questions to Mr. Roland. You may You may post it in the chat box. Then we could directly ask Mr. Roland once he in.
Hello. Sorry, I
Hi,
lost
Mr.
my.
Roland. Okay, it's okay. We could hear you now.
Okay.
You may proceed with your side presentations.
Slide presentation.
Before we while waiting for Mr. Roland, is there any questions to him? We may directly proceed the questions to Mr. Roland. Okay, Mr. Roland, do you still have the slides to be present?
Okay, wait.
Okay. All right, while waiting, we do have a question here. Maybe Mr. Roland would like to continue the presentation first, then answer the questions, or you may answer the questions in between. I assume that Mr. Rollins are having a difficulty to get back to us. Thank you so much, Mr. Roland, for your paper presentations. All right, we would like to continue with our next speaker, our fourth speaker of the day. All right, I would like to welcome Ms. Aina Nosri from University College of Yayasan Pahang. Ms. Aina will be presenting on the topic implications of a conducive environment toward children's development. Ms. Aina, the floor is yours.
Hi. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, Ms. Aina, we could hear you clearly.
Okay, I'm sharing the slide.
All right, you may proceed from now. All right.
Can you see is it the slide visible?
Yes, we could see the slide, but please project it. Okay, thank you.
First of all, I would like to say thank you to our Miss Moderator for inviting me for today. So, okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. I bid to all the participants and also audience who are able to be with us for today. So my name is Aina Shafiqah binti Muhammad Nosri and I am from the University College of Yayasan Pahang. So today I'm going to present my research paper with the title Implication of Conducive Environments Toward Children's Development. As for the introduction, on March 2020, an amendment of Movement Control Order, MCO, has been announced by the federal government of Malaysia. This MCO encompasses the restriction on any assembly, international travel, and also moving to curb in order to curb the spread of SARS-CoV-2, also known as COVID-19. The amendment of MCO has affected the daily routine of every individual, especially for the working parents, students, and also children. The sudden change of this daily routine has caused parents to be the sudden change of daily routine has caused parents to experience with the emotional instability, especially when they lose their job, which resulted to having financial impairment. And when this kind of situation happens, we couldn't deny that most of our parents will face with an extraordinary stress or pressure, and subsequently will affect the day or environment provided in their lovely home. And as we all know, every child's early life is very influenced by their surrounding and also environment. So for the problem statement, the pressure of working world during MCO has a lot of impact on the emotional management, especially for the parents, which the pressure leads to anger being released to their children unintentionally. And when this kind of situation happens, parents will occur to do violence when they expressing their anger toward the children, and resulted to abuse mentally or physically to their child. Okay, so according to Naimah 2018, parents should be good listeners to children, because children tend to be full of emotion. As we all know, children full of curiosity, so they will always try to get the attentions that they want from their parents, especially during MCO, because they have nobody else to be with or to talk with. So if their emotional expression being blocked, it will inevitably stunt to their emotional development, which is not good for their growth. So, and according to Valerie and Nisa 2019, children development can be improved by giving encouragement, stimulation, praises while doing household chores together. So for the research objective for this research is, the first one, to identify the level of awareness and understanding of parents about the impact of environments towards children's development. The second one is to identify the impact and importance of conducive environments on children's development. And the last one is to identify the relationship between the conducive environment and a children's development. For the study questions, to answer the first objective is, what does the parents think about the development of children that can be influenced by their surroundings? The second one is, why does a conducive environment plays an important role in the formation of a balanced development toward children's growth? Last but not least, is there a relationship between conducive environment and children's development? For the literature review, the theory used by the researcher in this study is the theory from Uri Bronfenbrenner, 1994, which is the ecological system theory. It is the ecological system theory consists of 5 layers, which system, which is microsystem, mesosystem, exosystem, macrosystem, and also chronosystem. But for this research, researcher focusing on the first layer, which is the microsystem, which is the closest layer to the child that contains the structure with whom the child has most direct contact with. For example, the family, school, neighborhood, and childcare. And according to McNaughton in 2005, a study was conducted on environmental factors with children's development. The result of the study shows that the parents who shows active involvement in child's life has a direct impact on all aspects of children's development. According to the previous study of Siti Arina Badli and Suziana Muhammad, 2001, a child's early development must be supported with the involvement of parents. The support provided by the parents will help the children to achieve a very holistic and a comprehensive development. And according to Henki Wijaya 2018, by the perspective on neuroscience, when children receive and gain support from their closest surroundings, it will eventually help the brain's alertness and awareness to develop, which leads to them learning and remembering something new easier. The methodology used in this research paper is, the first one is using the quantitative method, and the population and sample is parents who live around Sungai Isap Damai 3, Kuantan, Pahang, with a total of 64 respondents. The research instrument was made in the form of a questionnaire, and the questionnaire contains 2 parts with a total of 5 questions in part A, which is the demographic data, and 19 questions in part B using the Likert skirt and yes or no question. So the finding, the questionnaire, which is conducted to parents who live in Sungai Isap Damai 3, Kuantan, Pahang, were with the total of 64 respondents, which consists of 22 male and 42 female. So for the first objective, which is to identify the level of awareness and understanding of parents about the impact of environment towards children development, is for the statement, a broken family institution will cause children to form negative behaviors and intend to be involved in criminal activities. Achieve the lowest mean, which is 3.90, while parents who spend a lot of time with children will form a positive and balanced development, achieve 3.95 mean, which is the highest. For the second one is to identify the impact and importance of conducive environment on children's development. For the first statement, we achieved 3.91, which is the lowest, and for the second statement, we achieved 3.93 mean, which is the highest. For the last objective, which is to identify the relationship between the conducive environment and children development, which is using the yes or no question. For the first statement, we can see that the number of respondent choosing yes is 59, which is the lowest, and no for 5 respondents, which is the highest amount for no choice, okay, for no answers. So for the second statement is for 64 respondents, which is 100% saying yes is the most highest amount, and also the zero respondent choosing no, which leads to the most lowest answer chosen. As for the discussion, for what we can conclude from this research paper is that most parents have the knowledge on how important environment and their impact of it towards their children development, because based on the questionnaire that they have been answered, we can see that actually the parents have the knowledge and they know how to play their role in their children's life. The second one is, it is proven that environment does related to development of children. Okay, if a positive environment will offer a very balanced growth in all aspects of development rather than a negative development. It is just the same how it works on us. If we are surrounded with a negative environment surrounding, eventually we will slowly turning into a negative person, and that is also how it works on the children. But it is worse for the children because they have no other people to rely on, or even to ask, and to do their own reading and something and more. And last but not least, for the parents should really involve more in a child's daily routine by doing activities together, because it is a form of support and inadvertently provide them with motivation, and the children will feel loved by their parents. That's all. Thank you.
Thank Thank you so much, Miss Aina, for your presentations. Maybe we could proceed with one questions from the floor. Okay, we have a question here. What are the example of a conducive learning environments from your view, Miss Aina?
Okay, from my point of view, a conducive environment of learning is as well, I'm referring to the now current situation of pandemic. We can see that most of the children unable to attend physical classes, right? Okay, so how we can provide or form a very conducive learning environment is that this is where the parents should play their role by whenever the kids are doing their activities of learning, try to involve and be there with them, because children actually they doesn't really need our attention, but they need to feel the existence of the parents when they are doing something. By just sitting with them or be with them is already enough for them to learn or to think that, oh, my parents does love me and they love to see me studying, so so they might they are feeling proud with me. That's how that is what parents can do, especially during the pandemics of COVID-19.
All right, thank you so much for the answers, Miss Aina. I will keep that in mind to myself. All right, we will now proceed with the next presenter. Okay, participant and viewers, just to remind back, if you have any questions or you have any comment, you may post it in the chat box, all right, right directly during the presentations. So now our next speaker, we will have a video presentations from Miss Nur Auni Zafirah binti Muhammad Fuad from UCYP Malaysia. That will be presenting on her topics, the role of parents in raising social emotional developments of children during the pandemics. All right, we will let us watch the video.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Auni Zafirah and I will present about my research. The title of my research is Role of Parents in Raising Socio-Emotional Development of Children During the Pandemic. The introductions of my research is, according to some research, children learn about social skills in order for them to maintain some existing relationships or to develop new relationships. Means that they need the social skills for them to maintain existing relationship with their parents or cousins or siblings, or to develop new relationships with the teachers or with their friends. According to some other research, social emotional intelligence is a child's ability to experience, control, and express their emotions in order for them to form a close and safe relationships with other people around them. But as we all know, pandemics happen, COVID-19 has happened. Pandemics refer to an epidemic that happened throughout the whole nations, the whole world, throughout on a large populations. These pandemics are making the child unable to go out to school, or to go out to play, or to develop their social skills. This also disrupt their developments. Okay, the problem statement for this research is, play activities are seen to be indirectly able to improve children's understanding of socializations and emotions through every interaction made. That means that through playing, children will learn how to socialize and learn how to express their emotions through the playing, through playing. So But the curfew enforced by the government because of pandemics, making the children unable to go out and play. So they have to spend their times at home, probably alone if they don't have other people to play with. So this will make them have lacks of interactions, lack of association with their peers. Also, this will interfere with their social skills because they are unable to interact, unable to associate with other people, unable to play with other people. Also, parents without awareness about parents without awareness about the importance of interactions for children during pandemic periods will undoubtedly block the children's development, because not also the children are unable to interact, they are unable to play, unable to learn how to play, unable to learn how to control their emotions, making them unable to develop. Parents don't know how to handle this. Parents don't know how to develop their relationship, don't know how to interact with their kids, don't know how to play with their kids. This will block the children's development. The objectives of these studies is to identify the role of parents in improving children's social-emotional development during the pandemic period, knowing the importance of social-emotional development for children, and identifying the challenges that parents will face in improving children's social-emotional development. So as the study question, what is the role of parents? What is the importance of social-emotional development for children, and what challenges will parents face in order to improve children's development? Okay, for literature review, a study on the identifications of children's social-emotional development through role-playing activities in teaching and learning at the school level. The finding of this study shows that the role-playing activities that children play were in a state of impulsive self-controls, but after the role-playing activity, the children were in a state of positive control. That means children need to play for them to learn how to interact. A study about ZPD and scaffoldings in Vygotsky theories shows that ZPD expresses differences between what student can learn with help and what student can learn without help. Meanwhile, the scaffolding is the help given to the student in order for them to learn. Albert Bandura developed social learning theories into social cognitive theories and developed the theory according to the writing of Miller and Dollard, entitled Social Learning and Imitations, mean that students and children, they learn through imitate. They imitate what they see. They observe and imitate exactly what they see. So, if other people show certain behavior, certain ways of talking, certain ways to socialize, that's what they learn and imitate. That's what they will do. And Vygotsky also said that every functions in the development of children's culture take place in two levels, namely in the social levels and individual levels between human being and within a child. Okay, research design is in the form of quantitative study. So I use Google form to help to distribute the questionnaires that conducted in Kuala District Johor. Questionnaires were distributed randomly through social media to 100 parents, and the research finding obtained through the use of statistical package of social science version 25. The distributions of questionnaires through the Google Form applications distribute on a 4-point scale, starting with value 1, which is strongly disagree, value 2, which is disagree, value 3, which is agree, and value 4, which is strongly agree. This is demographic data for gender, age, and race. Shows that the studies, the respondent for the studies, 60% female and 40% male. This is the demographic data for job and education. This is the objective one. Identify the role of parents in improving children's social-emotional development during the pandemic period. This is the result. This is the finding. Shows that for question number 1, for adjective 1, parents need to spend time interacting with their children. Parents mostly strongly agree with the statement. For question number 2 and number 3, parents need to be involved in every game that children play and need to play a role inspiring that children can stay calm and control their emotions, which parents agree with that. But number 4 shows that parents disagree with the statements that parents can always give gadgets to their children if they are too busy to play with them. And question number 5 shows that parents strongly agree with the statements that they need to have a role to listen to the opinions expressed by the children. Objective number 2 shows that children's, for question number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4, all of the respondents agree with the statement. Question number 1, children can voice their opinions confidently. Children dare to associate with unfamiliar friends for question number 2. Question number 3, children show a calm character. Question number 4, children do not show their temper tantrum to get the wishes. And question number 5, children are more confident in their own abilities. Objective number 3 shows that for question number 1, parents strongly agree with the statement, that is, parents do not have time to play with their children. Objective number 2 and number 3 shows that parents agree with the statement, that is, parents do not know how to educate children in order for them to control their emotions, and children find it difficult for them to voice their opinions. For question number 4, parents strongly agree with the statements, that is, addiction to gadget. And for question number 5, parents are reluctant to interact and educate the children. Shows that parents disagree with the statement. For objective number 3. Okay, for the discussion and conclusion of this research, parents need to spend time interacting with their children through two-way conversations, so that they will see how far their child goes, what is their development, what they know, what they don't know, what they learn. Also, this conversation between parents and children will help the children to gain new vocabularies, to learn new words, to learn how to communicate, how to express their feelings and stuff. This will help the children to grow in a healthy relationship, healthy development, so that the children can build a good self-character, as to give birth to a human capital with good, nice character. This will shows the importance of parents that need to play their roles in educating and being a good role model for the children, so they can see that their parents is a good people, they act in certain ways, so the child will imitate it, the children will imitate how the parents act, and they will grow to be a good person. According to some research in 2020, the challenge for parents during the MCOs is to control their children's activities at home, how the families associate with the children, we show them what is the education that being played at home. This will also lies the positions of the home as the first educational institutions where the most kindergarten and nurseries are closed, and the parents become the teachers. Okay, this is all the presentations of my research. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Noor Auni Zafira, for the presentations. Before we proceed to our last speaker, I would like to remind everyone, if you have any comment or questions, you may post it in the chat box for the next speaker. All right. So we shall now move to Miss Amina Siregar binti Najamuddin of UCYP Malaysia with the title The Impact of Increased COVID-19 Cases on the Socio-Emotional Development of Children in Hulu Langat, Selangor. Miss Amina, the floor is yours.
Hello. Okay.
Hi, Miss Amina.
Hi.
Okay, we could hear you clearly, and we could also see your slides. You may begin now. Amina, please unmute your mic. You could actually turn on your camera also for the presentations, Amina. All right, Miss Amina, you may proceed now.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. My name is Amina Siregar binti Najamuddin, and today I would like to present my research is impact of increased COVID-19 cases on the socio-emotional development of children in Hulu Langat, Selangor. As for introduction, social and emotional development is the process of children learning to relate to others in a ways that are acceptable to their society and culture. This is because when children experience social development, they will try to master the skill of interacting with others, forming a self-formation where they will initial try for self-esteem and self-regulation of their own socio-emotion. Therefore, in building a positive relationship with children, parents must be wise to manage children's emotion for effective teaching and learning. Problem statement. The increase in cases of COVID-19 that has hit the whole world has changed the life patterns of various layers of society, including children who have also received their own impact. The Movement Control Order, MCO, and feedback show that many children are affected socially and emotionally when their daily routine is disrupted. According to the senior lecturer, guidance and counseling of the School of Education at UC Science Malaysia, Dr. Sheikh Muhammad Sheikh Abdullah, stated that the COVID-19 pandemic has seen many affected by the change and had to go through difficulties and in the adjustment process throughout the pandemic. Okay, several objectives has been set to produce this study. Among the objectives that have been set are first, to study the level of socio-emotional development of children during the increase in COVID-19 cases. Second, to identify the impact of the increase in COVID-19 cases on children's socio-emotional development. Third is to identify the role of parents on children's socio-emotional development when the increase in COVID-19 cases occurs. Next. Literature review. There's two theories that I'm using in this research, which is Erik Erikson theory and Bronfenbrenner ecological theory. For Erik Erikson theory, in Erik Erikson theory, emphasize the importance of social relationship with individuals in the child environment. Children's personality are formed as a result of psychosocial development. Progress psychosocial throughout its an individual life. For Bronfenbrenner ecological theory is theory that emphasizes the influence of the environment on individual development. This theory explains that child development is the result of interaction between nature environment with the child. In this context, the interaction between children with the child environment is believed to be able to influence the process child growth and development. Next. Research methodology. First is research design. In this study, I'm using quantitative study. For the population sample, the questionnaire was distributed to 30 respondents using Google Form. The study sample involved parents from Hulang Selangor. Research instrument. The instrument in the study is using a questionnaire, and the questionnaire is randomly distributed to the respondent. Method of analysis. The finding of this questionnaire will be analyzed using the SPSS application and look at the frequency, standard deviation, percentage through discrete analysis and inference. This questionnaire is built according to the keys, keep it short and simple, which is to ask simple and easy to understand question. Next. Research as instrument. There's two parts to the questionnaire. The first part is section A, which is represent the demographic question of the respondent, while for part B, there's a 3-part for answer the objective. For the Likert scale is 4 strongly agree, 3 agree, for number 2 is disagree, and 1 strongly disagree. Finding. Okay, for in this this finding of the study showed that statement like to express feelings and thought receive a positive response of strongly agree and agree compared to a negative response of disagree and strongly disagree. A total of 17 respondents who chose the category strongly agree with a percentage 56.7, and 11 respondents also for the category agree with a percentage rate of 36.6%, compared to 2 people who choose the disagree category, and no respondent were recorded for the strongly disagree. Respondents prefer positive feedback because respondents agree that the level of socio-emotional development of children during the increase in COVID-19 cases made children like to express their feelings and thought. This is because children like to talk about various interesting things with their parents. At the same time, the child will strengthen their speech and grammar. Because of that, parents need to always be aware and encourage their children to communicate so their children's social development is good at speaking and socializing as well. Next. So this is for objective 2. To identify the impact of increase in COVID-19 cases on children's socio-emotional development. And the question is, what is the effect of the increase in COVID-19 cases on children's socio-emotional development? The finding of the study showed that the statement for this difficulty to learn received a positive response to for strongly agree and agree compared to a negative response, disagree and strongly disagree. A total of 22 respondents who chose the category strongly agree and 6 respondents for the category agree, compared to 2 people who choose the disagree category and no respondent were recorded for the strongly disagree. Respondents prefer positive feedback because respondents strongly agree with the statement that children experience difficulty in learning and there is increase in COVID-19 cases due to the closure which cause the children not to be able to learn as usual at school. Through the study, I found that the children feel lethargic because they do not have the motivation and energy to do something, including studying, because children only learn through online. It is difficult for children to focus during the lesson. Children prefer to play their mobile phone game instead of studying. This is because when children are used to playing mobile phones, because to avoid being bored by their parents and not telling their children to study when at home, it causes children to become difficult and lazy to study. Next. So next is objective number 3, to identify the role of parents on the socio-emotional development of children when the increase in COVID-19 cases occurs. And the question for respondent is, what is the role of parents in socio-emotional development of children when the increase in COVID-19 cases occurs? The finding of the study showed that the statement always give encouragement and motivation receive a positive response to, for a strong agree compared to a negative response of disagree and strongly disagree. A total of 28 respondents who chose the category strong agree with a percentage rate of 93.3%, and only 2 respondents for the category agree compared to 3 people who choose the disagree category. Respondents prefer positive feedback because respondents agree that parents play an important role in always providing encouragement and motivation to their children during MCO, which is cause children to be at home throughout the control period due to increased 19 COVID cases. Through the study, I found that there's also some parents who feel their children are in good condition and do not need to encouragement in their daily life also. This will cause children to experience mental stress and be quiet due to the movement control of the MCO as a result of the increase in COVID-19 cases, which is result in the children not being able to leave the house and go to school as usual. This is because children will easily feel less enthusiastic and lively to live the day because they will easily feel bored quickly. Therefore, parents must be always provide encouragement and motivation because children at an early age still need encouragement from adults around them. Conclusion. Okay, for conclusion, in ensuring the mental well-being of children during the COVID-19 cases outbreak, all parties need to join hands by playing their respective roles. For parents, it is important to practice healthy parenting patterns, provide an environment filled with love, help care, encourage healthy conversation by active listening, and allow children to express their feelings. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Amina, for your presentations. We do have a question here from in the chat box. Okay, how can parents support social development in children? That's the first question. And another question is it important for parents to do activities at home with their children?
Okay, I would like to answer.
Do you think it is important for parents to, monitor the activities at home with their children?
Okay, as parent, it is necessary to play a role in doing various play activities to ensure the child development in a stable state. Parents need to spend sometimes doing interesting activities that can be done at home with their children. Among the activities that parents can do even at home is like treasure hunting. So in this game, children will be able to interact and explore while relating to their environment well. If parents always do various interesting activities, children will always be cheerful and enthusiastic to interact with their environment. That's all.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Aminah, for the answers. Thank you for the questions from the floor. Okay, participants and viewers, that's the end of the sessions for today. I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining these sessions. And I would like to invite everybody that we will begin our closing sessions in a while. Let's see everyone's there, all right? Thank you. All right, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon to all participants and viewers. Okay, we almost reached the end of the second international conference on education's ISET 2022. It has been 2 days of lively and stimulating presentations, and I have to say, it is a privilege and an honor to be entrusted with such an undertaking at the gatherings of such great peoples from different parts of the world of academia. We truly hope that you have had a fruitful experience sharing and learning through these sessions for both days. All right, and now I would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Nizam Nakiuddin, the Director of ISET 2022 and the Dean for the Faculty of Human Development, UCYP Malaysia, for the closing remarks. Please welcome.
Okay, so moderator, can you hear me?
Loud and clearly.
Okay, all right. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning to all. Okay, thank you to the moderator. Thank you to Dr. Raihan, Prof. John Adamson. Okay, I think they was here. Yes, hi Prof. John Adamson. Okay, so presenter, participant, and also thank you very much to Dr. Raihan Musa, CEO Exploria, for the sharing session in the morning. Okay. I believe these 2 days conference, all of us have obtained a very useful and meaningful knowledge. Okay, in this second international conference on education, ISET 2022. Okay, and the theme for this conference is adaptive education, empowering quality education through teaching and learning. Okay, actually, why we choose this theme? Because based on the previous studies, okay, many scholars, okay, they predict that the industrial revolution will necessitate profound changes in a major aspect of education, in terms of the contents of the education, in terms of the delivery of the education, pedagogy itself, okay, the structure, and also the management of education. So adaptive education is could involve the element of creativity, innovation, and also evolution in teaching and learning. So this element will enhance our quality of education. It will empower our quality of education and also form a strong that can meet a different demand in industry as well. Okay, so we have learned a lot from a keynote session, okay, delivered by the amazing speaker, Professor T.S. Dr. Zaidatun bin Tasir from University Technology Malaysia, UTM. Okay, and also we have 6 invited speakers. Okay, we have Prof. John Adamson here. Okay, we have 6 invited speakers, and also just now sharing session which are delivered by Dr. Raihan Musa. Okay, very interactive and also comprehensive session. Okay, from all of them. Okay, so for your information, okay, for this 2 days conference, we have the speakers and also presenter who are from a different country. Okay, we have a speaker from speakers and also presenter from Malaysian, from Indonesian, Brunei, Thailand, Japan, and also from Finland. Okay, who are willing to share their knowledge, their opinion, okay, their view, and also their finding, okay, of their paper. Okay, for this 2 days conference, I also would like to congratulate to our bachelor degree student. Okay, we have around 12 students who present their paper yesterday and also today. Okay, congratulations to all of you. Okay. So for the rest, okay, for the presenter, even though this is the last day of the conference, okay, the conference process is not over yet. Okay, there are still some steps that should be done. Okay, after this, the secretariat will update and share the info regarding the publication. Okay, all right. So last but not least, on behalf of UCYP and also Faculty Human Development. Okay, I would like to thanks to everyone for joining the second international conference on education, ICET 2022. Okay, I hope these these 2 days conference will help everyone to develop their extensive knowledge uh, of adaptive education and generate better skills, okay, better technique, better approach in order to empower quality education through teaching and learning. So, and finally, I would like to thanks to all the community, to all the committees members, okay, to the moderators. Okay, we have 4 moderators, okay, and also all the committees for organizing this conference and ensuring that it proceeds smoothly. Okay, I would like to apologize to everyone for any inconvenience, okay, that you might experience during this conference. Okay, I think that's all for me. Okay, thank you very much to all, and I do also hope that we can meet again, okay, maybe in next years or maybe another 2 years. Okay, inshallah. Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.
Thank you so much, Mr. Muhammad Nizam, our Director of ISET 2022. Okay, before we leave the conference, on behalf of the organizer, I would like to extend our greatest gratitude to our keynote speaker on the first day, Professor T.S. Dr. Zaidatun, the Dean Faculty of Social Science and Humanities from UTM, and also our invited speaker, Professor John Adamson from University of Niigata Prefecture, Japan. Thank you so much, Prof. Associate Professor Dr. Masura Batsis from IIUM, Associate Professor Dr. Anamai Damnet from Kazesat University, Thailand, Associate Professor T.S. Dr. Hafizan binti Maksum from UCYP, Malaysia, Associate Professor Dr. Firman Parlindungan, Universitas Tunku Umar Aceh, Indonesia, and Dr. Lee Kok Yue, University Technology, Brunei. And also, we would like to thank you, our workshop speaker, Dr. Raihan binti Musa, the founder and the CEO of Exploria at Skillset Sdn Bhd. And not to forget our diligent, intelligent people presenters. Thank you lots for your hard works. Our participants and viewers, thank you for your time listening and viewings and being together with us for the past 2 days. And last but not least, the people who make this happen, the committee who have been working day and night to ensure this conference runs smoothly as it can. Thank you very, very much. All right, now we would like to have a photo session together. If you may, please turn on all the camera and we will take the picture. All right, be ready everyone. 3, 2, 1. Okay, again. 3, 2, 1. Could we have a freestyle here? All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, lots of love from everyone. Till we meet again, perhaps in the next conference next year. May all of you have a nice day ahead. Thank you so much, everyone.
Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala dalam surah Al-Baqarah ayat 60, dan janganlah kamu melakukan kejahatan di bumi dengan membuat kerosakan. Saya mengalu-alukan pembangunan yang maju dan serba moden. Walau bagaimanapun, ianya bukanlah alasan untuk kita mengabaikan alam sekitar dan melakukan kemusnahan sesuka hati. Maklumat tidak sesekali menghalalkan cara.
This is Pahang. First prize winner Art Jamila. This is Pahang has been chosen as the state's new tourism team as part